And I don't know what else. I don't know if we have anything good to just tangent off of. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, how far are you guys into Battlestar?
Oh man. We just finished the Kane arc and she's loving it. I'm so happy. And I remember being just as angry. Um, Maybe not just as angry because I was pretty fucking angry the first time, like when Hilo and Chief were gonna be killed on the Pegasus and they deployed the fighters at each other. I was just like, oh, it's bloodbath time, right? And um but yeah, that's where we're at, and she's definitely hooked, thank God. Um, but yeah, it's so good.
Yeah,
It's exceeding my expectations.
I think it's too good of storytelling for her to not get hooked on. Like it's not just a show about people and robots, right? Like there's so much more to it. It's so political, it's so intelligent. It's a mystery, it's a thriller, like it's everything, kind of wrapped into one. So, she's pretty sharp, so
And for me, also just like me knowing how things turn out, like I wonder how she's gonna react when like Chief uh
hmm.
of effing what's his name? Colonel Ty, Ellen, like like what?
Yeah,
It's so crazy. Um
yeah.
I will say one thing though. I remember being a fan of not Starbuck, Apollo the first time around. Now I don't like him. I
Yeah,
think he's a
he's kind of a
douche.
bitch. Yeah, he's kind
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, I
th I
don't like him.
think he gets better at the end though. I think maybe that's what you're remembering. Because I think he comes
No,
around near the end.
I mean to me it was like I always like I think this time around like hey, so when I was an INFP, and I think Apollo is a male INFP, believe it or not, but now I'm more INTJ, and the character I identify with most, believe it or not, although his end is not good either, is effing Gata. I like Gata. I think Gata is just the reliable, smart dude. And the episode right before Pegasus shows up, like he starts mouthing off to Ty, and I'm like, that's so awesome. Like Gata was like, dude, he's not a dummy. He's like fuck you, Ty. Like, and then Devon was like, pull yourself together, Gata. I love doing the voices, because I love doing Admiral Adama. Anyways, Ah, but yeah, fuck, and also I like what's his name a little bit more. I know we were also supposed to talk about this, but I have to just go off for a second. So because I was so Apollo identified, I hated Anders. I'm like, fuck this guy. Like Anders gets to smash Starbuck on the first date, like meeting, right? I'm like, fuck this guy. And I still am on the fuck this guy trip, but I just know it's because jealousy. But I like him better now than I did before. So I know when he becomes basically a Cylon ship, like, man, what a crazy show.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It's so good. It's got Rika Sharma in it, who's all right, I guess.
I look forward to that too, just how she reacts to that
Yeah.
for sure.
Is
Yeah.
she now?
I
Are
think
you
she
doing
shows up.
it? Are you doing it the way I did it with you with Lost, and trying to see if she's got predictions and stuff as she goes?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Because I feel like is one of those shows that's good for that. Because there's just
Yeah.
so much going on and so much to figure out. And at the point you're at, have they actually discussed the final five yet?
Oh, hell no. No.
Okay, so that's not
Not
even a
even there
thing
yet.
yet.
Yeah, no.
She doesn't
That's
even
what
know
I
there's
mean.
more
Like she
options then,
she
yeah.
love her favorite. She loves Chief. She loves him because he's such a good guy with a good heart. And she's like, why is he not a lead? Like he's a leader. Like and I feel like you know what? I feel bad for Sam Witwer. I'm like, I swear to God, dude, every character you've played, to be fair, I only know him actually three. I know he's Starkiller, and I know it's a game, but I know Starkiller is supposed to be a pretty dark Jedi, right? He can do Force lightning. Then, of course, the first time we saw him, he was Doomsday in Smallville, and he was kind of a weird asshole character. And then in Battlestar Galactica, he's a weird asshole character. I'm like, poor
He was
Sam.
Darth Maul in all of the Star Wars animated.
All right, so he's
So he's
always kind of a villain.
and then he was in a show called is it Being Human? Where he plays a vampire, but it's a little more sympathetic. He's a vampire that lives with a werewolf, and they're basically trying to not break bad. They're living together, trying to help each other be as normal as they can.
Hmm.
And like they both work in a hospital because they have access to things there that would, him having access to a blood bank would keep him from, going after people and stuff like
Kind of
that.
like Morbius.
Sort of, yeah, but less of a twat than Morbius. What else has he done? He's done a couple other things where I saw him and I was like, yeah, and I feel like his career's actually done. His career's actually done really well. Um, for the long haul, like he's Darth Maul in literally everything. Um, a huge
Probably.
actually comic books video game
Gotcha.
voiceover guy in general. Like he's done a ton.
He was
Um,
born in 77, man.
yeah,
He looks old. Like not now, but I'm saying back then he looked older than he was. Like, cause I when I would look at him, I wouldn't go, "That's my classmate," you know? That's crazy.
yeah,
He's younger than
yeah.
you too. Yeah.
No, he can't be younger than me if he's born in 77. I'm January 77, so
Yeah, he's October.
yes, he'd be younger than me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, I thought you said he's older than me. I don't know why.
No, I said yeah, he's younger than me, and he's definitely younger than you because you're January. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But like, yeah, but yeah, he was crashed down, and he's literally I don't know if you remember like what happened in Battlestar Galactica, but his character like just starts to freak out, and he has to be like put down basically.
mm,
Um, and then one who was it? What else was I going to say really quick? I know we're totally tangenting before the show, but I just have to got to get all this out. But I'm not going to remember. But anyway, so damn good and so much better than I remembered
yeah,
in a way.
yeah. It really is such a good show. Like I feel like Battlestar Galactica is just it's a classic at this point. Like I know everybody talked about the 70s version being a classic, but and I'm sure it is. Like if
I
you go back
tried.
and watched it, I feel like if you grew up watching it, you'd still be able to tolerate it more. But the 2000s version, the early 2000 remake, is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just
And
so good.
and it holds even like basically like even the combat like season two they take out two base stars in the resurrection ship and it looks so good. Like it's just oh man. Like
I I think the trick is that they made it kind of gritty. They kind of made it look like war footage in a way.
hmm
And so adding that grittiness in kind of ate into the cheapness of the special effects to the point where it actually worked. And it still works. We've talked about a few movies since, probably in the last couple of years, where we're like, how does this movie have a budget and look like this when you had Battlestar
War of the
Galactica
Worlds.
25 years ago
Yeah.
that looked incredible? And um, it's not fair. Like it's crazy. Um, but but yeah, it's pretty wild, and I think it's pretty cool too. Like I really do. Sam Witwer's one of those guys that I always notice pop up. Talking about him, like he's in a little bit of everything all over the place. And he was in what did I just? Oh, he's the main character in one of the video games that I really um liked but didn't like. It was close to being a really great game called Days Gone, which got a lot of comparisons to The Last of Us, unfortunately. But it was a little different. Um, but yeah, every time he shows up in something, I'm like, okay, cool, cool. I know this guy. I recognize his voice or I recognize his face. You just kind of know him, and he's made a good career. Like he keeps showing up in stuff. Everything Star Wars. He showed up in Star Trek Lower Decks as a voice
Oh,
actor.
all right.
But it actually trips me out that he is a voice actor so much because he's not a bad looking guy.
No,
You
not at all.
you'd think he would be, on screen a little more, but he may just be really comfortable and really happy with the behind the scenes work.
Yeah, and frankly, like I also think maybe again, I think maybe because he got tired of playing like gr morally gray characters. He's like because he does have a face that I mean, he's not a good acting guy, but I think he is more of that like either bad guy or conflicted trouble guy versus like the angel, like fucking Apollo, who again I used to like, but now for some reason I just think he's a douche.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Apollo always bothering me.
Always.
Yeah, I just never quite liked him like I wanted to, and like I got sort of his story drama, right? Like all his issues with his dad and his brother and all that. Um, but yeah, I just never really liked the character enough.
He's basically like Cyclops, and I think again, I don't know Cap from the comics, but I feel like again, what the MCU did was there was the first time you made like the Boy Scout good guy archetype cool again. Because I feel like the last time we had a cool Boy Scout was Christopher Reeve in the Superman film. But after
Hmm.
that, it was always the rebel. Like that was like Batman, Iron Man, Raphael versus Leonardo and Apollo is whereas Anders I think is more of like he's not like a rebel, but he's definitely more, he's not the Boy Scout. And I think Apollo was the Boy Scout, and maybe that's the issue. I think if you're gonna be a Boy Scout, then you can't be this self-righteous douche. And I feel like that's
Right.
basically that's the line you have to like make sure you don't fall into that trap. And I
Yeah.
think that that's in a way how Cyclops was played by, can't remember the guy's name right now, but that's how he was kind of played, certainly in the first film, the X-Men 2000.
Yeah.
Um, we didn't really get a cool like Boy Scout, but anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a hard thing to do because if your character's too good, they're not interesting. You know, like you walk this line of if they're I don't know if they're being too nice, like you don't have anything to fall back on. Like if you break them, then you break them too far. But if you don't break them, they're not interesting. So like, you know,
I just figured out why it's so funny. I know you're a story guy, so we're like maybe this could be part of the podcast. It's all about the story craft. This is already a
hmm
hell of a tangent, but it makes sense now because I think of the Captain America trilogy, right? I do
Yep.
say I think the second and third ones are the ones that are celebrated. And the reason
hmm
why is because in the first one, he's just being the good dude, right? But in the second one and the third one, you're forcing him to actually go against like the establishment.
Yep.
And that's the only way the good dude becomes heroic, But because it's that's crazy. Like you'd think this America guy would go for the Sokovia Accords, and he's actually like an outlaw. Like, or you plant your tree in the ground and say, no, you move. Like they figured out how to like make him cool.
Yeah.
So that circumstance
Yeah.
made him.
Yeah, and I always like the first one, and even then, he's like a little bit of a rebel because they're like, "Yeah, we just need you to be this front-facing thing," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm
Right.
gonna
A
break the rule. I'm
symbol.
gonna go save my people."
Yes.
And so he's still a rebel, but like not in the same way that he is in the other ones, right? Like he's literally on the run. Like he is standing up to the government. He's on the run. Gets a little smoochy smooch with the Black Widow. Like he's got his bad boy streak going on. Um, but like, yeah, he's definitely more interesting as a character in the second and third ones.
Yes.
But it's funny because he's still, for me, is my favorite MCU character is Cap.
I can't say I disagree with you, man. I really can't. It's just I'm saying way too much on this podcast. But I have my Cap like shirt and I would always rock it. But when Sam got it, then it was like, oh no, he thinks he's Captain. Like it's ruined. I can't do it anymore. It's not the same. But like you get it. But it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love Cap, dude. Which is why like when he had his moment in Endgame, it was the ultimate. Just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you this is definitely all going in the show now. It's funny that you bring up Sam Wilson because I was watching something and it was just like footage, but it was footage of him and Bucky in Civil War.
Yeah.
And he was funny. Like he had personality, he was funny. And then when you put him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he still had scenes where he was funny. Not as many, like they were and then once he became Cap or once he was close, they took all that away. They took away all that personality, all that stuff that made him interesting, and then they tried to turn him into Cap, where he's just like the Boy Scout, like you said, the Boy Scout, and he's not as interesting. Like they needed to break him a little more, and have him, really go. And I know technically in his own movie in let's see, I don't even remember what it was called. What was his
Is it
Captain
New World
America?
Order or something?
Yeah, yeah. Um, and he kind of goes against the president, who happens to be the bad guy, so it kind of doesn't count. But like, yeah, he just, I think they messed up the character. It's not Anthony Mackie's fault. I think they took something away from that character to make him, more good, make him better, and I think it hurt him ultimately.
And then and here's one of the last tangents. So actually literally before this show, because all the dudes out there, y'all know it is our duty. I was gonna say our duty to rock that booty, but that's terrible. No,
Yeah.
it is our duty to introduce our significant others, our girls, our fiancés, whatever, to media. So Saloni finished Thunderbolts.
Nice.
Loved it, and actually got a little like she said, I definitely got in my feelings. Like that scene, like where he's in the void and that
Hmm.
whole thing was like, wow. Like I didn't know they were gonna go that deep. She loved it. So I was just like, yes. And I
Yeah.
explained to her why, like it just sucks that I'm connecting the dots. It sucks that Thunderbolts got hurt by, I'm sorry, Captain America. I think that because that movie was not that good, like it hurt the box office of Thunderbolts, which was actually the best film of
Oh
the con
yeah.
of the
It's
year.
it's the first Marvel movie since Endgame that I have watched multiple times. Like I can rewatch Thunderbolts anytime. It is excellent. It's so good. And it's like every movie since Endgame has been okay. Like they've been
Yes.
fine. They've been fine. And I can watch them and I enjoy them or whatever. But Thunderbolts, like I get excited to watch again. Um, And that hasn't been the case. Like maybe with one of the Spider-Man movies, right? Like Spider-Man's done okay afterwards too, but this one, Thunderbolts is just better. Everybody's good in it. You're setting up these new characters, and um, yeah, it's okay. And it's funny because, and I guess now we can start working into things we've actually watched. But Marvel Zombies started,
Mm.
and they dropped all four episodes at once. I've only watched two of them so far. Um, Not as impressed as I thought I would be. But the main characters are effectively the Thunderbolts.
Oh, that's a
Um,
selling point. Now I want to
yeah,
watch it.
in a different way. Now, Florence Pugh, at least it sounds like, is Black Widow. It doesn't sound like it's David Harbour's Red Guardian, unfortunately. Um, and then Kate Bishop is there. Um, Little Miss Marvel is there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a good little cast. The unfortunate thing about at least the first two episodes of Marvel Zombies is they had an opportunity to just say, let's go, maybe not redo the comic, but let's go with something super gritty. Because it's weird because it's gory. Like there's a lot of blood and stuff in it, but it's too jokey. Like it's somehow too Disney-fied, even though it's super violent. And
Wow.
so
Okay.
it just like it should be better, and it's not.
Mm.
And so I'm kind of disappointed in it. Like we'll finish it, um, but I'm also not really feeling it. Like it just the animation's cool. Like I like the style, like it is in the What If style and all that.
Mhm.
And the story is kind of interesting. Um, but and maybe part of it is that it's not the real voice actors. I think that ultimately hurts it, because you're used to these people, and when you replace them, it is jarringly different. Like you can forgive obviously when Black Panther shows up and it's not Chadwick Boseman. Like you're like, okay, well that has to be that way. And you can, I mean, Tony Stark doesn't even have a voice in this one, so you don't have to worry about, at least not so far, you don't have to worry about replacing him. Um, but some of these characters, especially when they've been in the forefront, like we talked about the Thunderbolts, like if you don't get David Harbour, it just sounds like a dude doing a bad Russian accent. And it just like it doesn't really play. And then there's too many jokes. Like
Yeah.
I'm fine with a few, but there's so many in there, and I think they had an opportunity to go do something really dark. Just lean into it. I think that I feel like this is the same problem they're having with Blade. And why they can't get it made, why the scripts are keep getting knocked back, is because they're battling between this idea of making something that's actually dark and gritty
Mhm.
versus making something that fits into the MCU the way that they've been building it, which is almost humor in everything. And I
Yeah.
think Thunderbolts walked the line really well. Thunderbolts had a lot of fantastic humor in it.
1,000%.
Like even the opening scene with
Elena.
Yelena, like she's saying some dark shit. Like she
Yes.
she really is. Like it's a heavy little conversation piece with herself, but she's still funny. Like she still has these little bits in there that work because that's her character. And you can't write that stuff into other characters that don't have that. And I feel like if you force that in, it doesn't work. I think, Blade is going to have to be, especially if you cast Mahershala Ali. He can throw in a funny line. Like he can be a funny guy, but he is a fantastic dramatic actor.
Mhm.
And if you're going to cast somebody like that, lean into what he does best. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing too. Like when you cast somebody, yes, you're casting a part, but you are bringing in that actor. Lean into what they can do,
For a
you know?
reason.
Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, yeah, I worry about the MCU still going forward because I don't think they have a full grasp on where they're going next. We'll see what happens with Doomsday and Secret War.
Mhm.
I almost feel like that will set us up for a true reboot of the MCU.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I will say that I liked Thunderbolts so much, like that, like when you watch like the end credits, like the after credit scene, you
Hmm.
can already tell, like, yeah, that is Russo brothers, like uh
Hmm.
cinematography. They directed those sequences, and it was like I didn't want the movie to end. So I actually think that we're gonna see a serious return to form with
With
both
Doom. Hmm.
Doomsday and Secret Wars. And the fact that they're making us wait until December 2026, they're not fucking around. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I do think they're going to be good, but I think for what we know as the MCU, I feel like they really are going to hard cut it. I think we're going to have very little left afterwards that was established before.
Oh
Like, I
yeah,
think, they're still
they're gonna
talking
wipe the
about the
slate.
champions or whatever. They'll still keep some of the younger ones around, do something with them. But, definitely we're going to lean into the X-Men. We're going to lean into some of that other stuff. So, um, it'll be, it'll, I'm hoping it'll feel new again and they can kind of rediscover their footing. But here's the other thing too. Let's just say Doomsday and Secret Wars are amazing. They're going to be in the same position they were when Endgame ended, where everything afterwards is going to get compared to that.
But
X-Men gives them the advantage that they really are rebooting and starting from the beginning.
yes.
Um, so that will help them. But if those movies are great, they're going to be in a tough position where everybody's going to be like, "Well, cool. Why isn't it as good as those?"
And again, my thing is, and I'm loving the free flow of this conversation. My thing is, we're not, I'll say, at least for me, I'm not asking you to always be end game level,
Yeah,
okay? But don't go down to like Dark World era. Like, there's standards.
yeah,
That's
like
all
yeah,
I
yeah.
ask
You
for.
should learn from the things you did in the beginning that didn't work. Don't
Yes.
do those things again. But I do feel like the general audience, though, isn't as accepting. The general audience sees the latest thing and they want the next thing. And two, I still feel like we are in, our post-pandemic world where everything is different. Like you have to evaluate your blockbusters different and accept the fact that maybe we're not in the billion-dollar movie era anymore. Because Thunderbolts got ripped as a failure and it is easily the best movie that the Marvel has made since Endgame, right? And you can't box office that. It was better than Fantastic Four, which wasn't bad. I liked Fantastic Four. Endgame was better. Or I'm sorry, Thunderbolts was better. I even think Thunderbolts was better than Superman, and I like Superman.
Yeah, and that's real talk because I know that you like Superman and you're a gun
Mhm.
fan, and but yeah, that's how I know. Like, yeah, Thunderbolts was the edge. Oh, and I did show Sony the first like couple minutes of Superman just because at first she's like, I don't know. I'm like, no, he's gotta see this, he gotta see this. And then like I think it was the dog. And I'm like, yes, like the dog won her over. I think she was like, all right, that's cute.
Well, and
So
I love the backstory to the dog too. That's James Gunn's dog. Like the whole reason Crypto's in there is because he's got a dog that's a total asshole. And
yes,
he's like, I
I
need
gotta
that.
write him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so relatable and yeah. But yeah, no, I think you said some profound ish right there. You're right. Like even like the fact that Captain Marvel made a billion, it's like, yo, it's a different era now, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because if you put Captain Marvel out today, I don't know if it would make 250 million. Like it's just like
No.
yeah, the world is weird, and not just from the financial standpoint at the theater, but like the stories and any political aspects you put in there. The country's in a weird place right now,
Zeitgeist,
and yeah,
exactly.
so like the stories you tell, if they're not jiving with the right subset of people, you're going to make less money. So it's definitely harder right now, and and like I said, you can see it because this was a summer for really good movies, really good action superhero movies. And I just saw, maybe you posted it, but something said this is the first time in a decade the top that there's not a superhero movie in the top five grossing films of the year. And there
My
won't be
boy
because there's no
Eric.
more coming.
Yeah, my boy Eric will be like, see, Andrew, superhero fatigue. You always make fun of me, but I'm right, damn it. Yeah, and I'll still always maintain it. It's maybe there is, maybe finally, but I do think it's still about quality. And I think
I
it
I
is
think
good.
it's both because I think we saw a downtick in quality, and now you have to lure people back into the theaters.
Yes,
And once you can do that with consistent quality,
consistent
the
quality.
profits will go back up. But you
Yeah.
you can't you can't falter. And I think that that's the issue. Like Peacemaker's doing really well right now. I'm behind on Peacemaker. I think I've only watched the first three episodes, and there's five or six out now. So I've got to go back and finish that. But it's doing really well. It's getting good reviews. It's getting a lot of watches on HBO, and it's been really solid. Like so far, the few episodes that I've seen are really good. And if you watch season one, it's more of the same. It's a little more of an emotional journey for Peacemaker. Um, there's a lot more development of Harcourt, which is James Gunn's real life wife. And it's better than it was last season. And so I think if you look at that, I think DC is starting off in the right direction. They're starting good. They can climb, they can go up, and we'll see what they do next. Marvel, I almost feel like they need to take a break from the streaming stuff. Like, oh, we've kind of talked about it. They spread themselves too thin, and they're fixing that a little bit. Like, we're not seeing another movie until next year from them, and is Spider-Man first?
You know what? I think it is. And it might just be two, like as in like two Marvel films,
Yeah,
Spider-Man and Avengers.
yeah, and Doomsday. Um, because I know there's one next year, but I can't remember what it is.
Oh, but
Um,
by the way, like, did you hear about the accident?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Um,
sucks.
I don't know how bad
July
it is.
31st.
July
Sorry.
30th for Spider-Man.
Hmm.
I don't know how bad it is because like the heading of the article was Tom Holland cracks his head and they're seeing him for a concussion. And I'm like, those are two very different things. If he cracked his head open, you're less worried about a concussion and you're more worried about his brain falling out of his head. Like it's a serious injury. I feel like it's a communication issue because I think they were filming in London. And I feel like that heading came out in London where crack your head means something a little different than, cracking your head open.
Yeah. Well, I
Uh,
remember when I lived in Canada, like we talked about cracking your head open. It was just more about like there's blood. Like they wouldn't necessarily go
hmm
insane. But I'm actually looking at the credits. Did you know who's directing Spider-Man Brand New Day?
Yes,
Exactly.
but no.
Okay, so it is Destin Yori or Daniel Cretton. And you wouldn't know him by name, neither would I, but I knew it looked familiar. He is the same guy who directed Shang-Chi. So you know the combat scenes are about to be
Yeah.
effing lit. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. I think it's going to be a good movie.
Oh yeah, he's in Marvel Zombies, and I think it's both him and Aquafina. I think are both their actual character voices.
Okay. Oh, Tom Holland?
No, no, definitely not Tom Holland. The guy doesn't, not even
Shang-Chi,
close.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
that sorry, dude.
Simu,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You're like that'd be the
I
whole show's budget.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and Tom Holland makes it. I mean, that dude is so busy, and
Yeah.
he's talked about it a few times. Like he just kind of needs to take a break
Yeah.
from acting, and but at the same time, he does not want to give up Spider-Man. Like he loves Spider-Man.
As he
Um,
should, man.
yeah,
I love
and
that.
to be fair, like he's done an amazing job with this character, in a way that the other two couldn't. He started younger, or at least feeling younger. I'm sorry, but Tobey Maguire was like 50 when he was playing 18. Like he he did a great job. Like to be fair, like those first two Spider-Man movies he did,
Mhm.
awesome. Like they're
Yeah.
great. I think Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man didn't quite get the love he deserved. I think he did pretty well. Definitely not as good as I think the Tobey Maguire ones. But my middle son has adamantly said for the longest time that Andrew Garfield is his favorite Spider-Man. And like it's just Spider-Man is like that. Like you can have different versions of him and everybody is going to love him. Um, but I think Tom Holland's done an amazing job.
Yeah.
And he will continue to do an amazing job because I think they're doing three more movies
That's
with
amazing.
him
You
plus
know he
plus
gets paid.
Avengers and yeah.
Yeah, but as someone who personally hates pain, me, like I I don't want to be working and then crack my head and need to have it like on the set. Like that sucks, man. Like I just
And the hard part is like he's the star.
that's
Like
what
you're
I'm
making a
saying.
movie about like hopefully they have other films they can or other scenes they can film or
Yeah.
action scenes where they can have a stuntman or some stuff so they can keep moving while he gets the opportunity to recover. Because it's really easy to do action scenes in the Spider-Man suit and then come back and have him do ADR
I already know.
afterwards.
I already know. If I was an actor, I'd be like Tom Cruise. Y'all can do that over there. Yeah, that's my guy. Like,
Yeah.
all right,
No,
you
you
want
know
me to
who
jump off the sidewalk? Get us on, man.
who is
Seriously.
big on that is God, what's his name? The Mexican actor that was in um oh my God, I'm so pissed that I'm forgetting his name. Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo. You know who I'm talking
Oh,
about? The scariest motherfucker you've ever
Yeah, with the
seen.
tats and everything. Yeah, yeah.
He will absolutely never do a stunt.
Yes.
He's like those people do this. This is their job. This is their living. I don't want to take work away from them. They know exactly what they're
Oh,
doing. I do not need to do this. Like it's not
okay.
that he's necessarily afraid to do it. And I think he
Yeah,
probably would if there weren't stunt actors. But he's like, no. He's like, that's their job. Go do your job.
yeah.
Like
I'm good.
yeah.
Nope.
And I respect that because you look at Danny Trio and
Yeah,
you
he's
assume that he does all his own stunts and maybe even killed somebody on set. Like he's a scary
exactly.
dude.
Yes.
But I love that dude. He's got his own taco shops in LA.
Good for
Treo's
him.
Tacos. Yeah, and his story is great. Like he was in prison for a while, and after prison he got out, and I don't know what he did at first, but he fell in with Robert Rodriguez, and the rest is history. Like he's been in, I think everything Robert Rodriguez has done, even fucking Spy Kids. Like he's done all kinds of stuff, and he's funny. Like he can do everything. So
He was
uh,
even in Breaking Bad, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure.
Season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But to me, I'll always remember him from Desperado when he shows up and he's got the vest full of knives and he's just like, you're like, this dude's a badass. And like, he just always a badass. So yeah, he's really cool. So Cool.
Well, yep.
Well, speaking of things that Disney has
Yes.
touched, they are the proud owners of Alien Earth, and that finished this week. And did you watch the finale?
I totally watched the finale,
Okay,
dude.
okay. So I'm proud to say that my prediction about at least about who a little boy, what's his bucket, wanted to be his eyeball carrier
You
is the
totally
brother.
were right. Yep.
I knew it when he said he wanted somebody like stupid and weak. I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I know exactly who he's got in mind. Let's see. So we've got that. We were right about a cliffhanger. It
Yes.
ended in
Had
a
to
way
be.
that I feel like it had to,
Yeah.
right? Um, but what's your take on the finale?
So basically, I think a lot of these, I love that the title of the episode is The Real Monsters,
Hmm.
because now that these hybrids have been like, like we're like ghosts. And then it's like, well, what do ghosts do? They haunt houses.
Yep.
And like all this time we've been scared of them. Maybe they should be scared of us. And I'm just like, see, and this is why we shouldn't play God. I mean, it's a tale as old as Frankenstein. It's like, why do these smart people mess with nature thinking they can control it? So I like that cautionary tale piece. I will admit, I'm now starting to wonder, like, yeah, like Wendy is like, I don't know, man. Like now she's got to go too. Like I just like how there's so many different science fiction narratives where like AI is not allowed to live. Like there's the AI wars and then they kill them all and then it's like this is illegal. And this is why because of this type of ish.
Yep.
So
Yep.
how I feel about it, I think that yeah, it's like. I'm more scared of the hybrids now than the damn aliens at this point. At least Wendy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the interesting. So I remember I talked about how everything goes isolated because it's an island,
Hmm.
right? But then I was remembering if we watch Alien 3, the aliens can swim. The xenomorphs can swim, no problem.
Oh God.
So, like, are they going to ignore that and just keep them trapped on the island? Because we know that the xenomorphs effectively have like boundless energy. Like, they're killing machines, right? Like, they don't rest. And so, there's no reason to think that it couldn't get in the ocean and just swim to California and then start eating the US, Like, um, now, granted, from what we've seen, I don't think there's a queen.
Yeah, so thank God there's no like egg makers. Thank God.
Yeah. So like these two potentially would be the only two on Earth, but I mean they could do a lot of damage just the two of them if you weren't ready for them. Um, but there, I mean there's a lot of possibilities for next season. You still got Wayland Yutani out there who knows about this. They
Yes.
got people that are going to come. Um, you still did they kill the cyborg?
Which one? No, he's still
No,
alive.
yeah,
That's
okay, that's what I thought.
Morrow.
That's what I thought.
And I was like,
Yeah,
thank God, because I would have been a waste. Like you
yeah,
can't. I didn't want either of them to die. So the fact that they did neither of them died was like great. I love how he's on the ground. He's like, "Where were you guys 10 minutes ago?"
yeah,
Like he was just like, but no, you can't kill Morrow. He's a badass. Although his eyes all fucked up. Like I know
yeah.
it's a little hard to
But they
watch.
didn't kill anybody, did they? They didn't even kill Timothy Oliphant, did they?
No, no, he's
I know
tied up.
yeah, he because he was barfing white goo, but I think yeah, I think he was okay. I
Love
was
his back.
trying to remember who all was in that last scene, but I was pretty sure they didn't kill anybody,
No,
really. Like
at least not
they're
yet. I
going to
mean,
be
not in this
benevolent.
episode.
Yeah, they're going to be benevolent rulers, right? Like, but the crazy thing is, like, too, at the end, you've got Boy Cavalier sitting there, and he gets all fucking smiley and giddy that they're taking over. I'm like, this dude's fucking nuts. This guy's a moron. Like, he's a
So yeah.
genius, but he's an idiot.
I love how
Um,
they're like your level of ADHD. I'm like, okay, so now we found a crack in you, dude. Like you are like impulsive. Yeah, he's I don't think he's gonna make it like in the next season. I think that well, we'll see what happens. But I mean, we just know that, again, Utani's coming. And I mean, I loved that scene where he's like talking to them like in the cell, and she's like flicks her wrist and it opens.
Yeah,
He's
the
like,
door opens and he's like, "Oh shit," which is crazy to me because like she was literally talking to her brother through a TV screen. She was not jacked into anything.
yeah,
She was just using her brain. And like, and then when everybody at the end too is all strapped in, and you look up and both of the aliens are there, and you're just like, shit, these two are the shit. Like, they're or these androids are the shit. Um, and so yeah, it's really going to be. I've seen like they still actually haven't been greenlit for a second season,
I know.
which
Oh,
is insane to me.
no, but which is why my hypothesis is it's money. Like this show is probably so expensive,
Oh, sure,
and I'm sure that even like the showrunners are like, you need us now,
yeah.
so show us the money. It's money. That is the only reason why I think it's held up right
I
now.
think they need to move it from FX too. You know, they can make it an FX brand or whatever, but move it over to Hulu/Disney Plus because I think Hulu's going away in January.
Exactly.
But move it over to Disney Plus where you can have a little more free reign too. The
Mhm.
episodes don't have to be held down by commercial breaks or limitations. Um, but at the same time, like, do you get a bigger audience if it's on FX? I don't know. I don't know where the bigger audience lies, but they're going to
Yeah.
have to get that ad revenue and stuff. Um, but yeah, I think you're right. Um, like, it's going to have to, they're going to have to pay. They're going to have to pony up, not just for the effects, which they could, potentially dial back a hair for next season. I mean, the xenomorph is a dude in a suit still. Um, Now you've got a rundown island instead of a perfectly well kept island. So it depends on what you do with Whaley Nutani and all that. But like the effects don't necessarily have to be insanely expensive. It they spent where they needed to spend on this season because it's
Yeah.
gorgeous. Like it
Hmm.
looks incredible. And hopefully they figure out where to spend in the next one. I feel like the next one is I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, are they gonna try and get off the island and take over the world, or is the battle gonna come to them? Like, that's what I'm not sure about. The thing that makes sense for the future of the Alien franchise as we know it is for the battle to come to them. But the way that they were talking at the end of the episode sounds like they're ready to take their shit to the world. So we'll see about that. I don't know. And I love that the little bit of plot development there that the android, the robot that has been with Boy Cavalier this whole time is his father, right? Like he created him to get rid of his dad, and then he's always been there. And then when he's about to attack Wendy, and she's like, "Boop, no."
Yep.
She's like, "Nah, you're just a machine. I own you." Like she's badass. She's arguably overpowered. So it'll be really interesting to see. Like you're gonna have to go, full like old school commando style to fight her because you can't use technology against her anymore.
No.
So maybe we'll have Schwarzenegger show up as commando or a predator hunter and take her out. I don't know. But they've done a really good job with the season so far. I like that when you call it Alien Earth, you're not just talking about xenomorphs anymore. I mean, there are other aliens here and other arguably more interesting aliens. Like they turned the xenomorphs into puppies, and somehow they're still scary. Like they did some really cool stuff. So I'm excited to see what they do next.
That is by far the most durable eyeball I've ever seen. That eyeball was taking some hits
Yeah,
and it was like still fighting. It was such a smart eyeball too. I when he goes in a little glass box and it crawls around and goes into a little little tray and look,
yep,
he was not giving up. And then he goes and takes over the dead dude. Like, oh my God. Like
yeah. It
I
was like I guess this will do. you know?
right? Like I'm eyeball, and I felt bad for like the woman who got like eaten by the plant monster, like because she seemed like cool enough to like live. Nah,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
she did not live. Oh man, but it honestly, for me, I think my favorite character it might be the eyeball. I want to know what its deal is. I really want to know.
It's a different character going into next season because if it's in a human body
Hmm.
and
Maybe able to
dude
talk.
hasn't even been dead for a day, so his brain ought to be pretty solid. There's a really good chance that we're going to have a character there next season, which will make it very interesting, and it could very well be the thing that takes everybody down. Like it's smarter than probably everybody else, and now you put it in a human body so it can communicate. Who knows? But yeah, it's good. It's really good. It deserves a season two for sure. Like
Yes.
hands down deserves a season two. And I'm I'm excited to see what happens and I'll be watching very closely to see when that gets the nod. But it needs to get it quick and it needs to start filming quick
Yeah.
because I still think that we're in an era now where we wait too long between seasons of shows, and I think that hurts shows in the long run. Stranger Things has gotten away with it, but I think even they have waited maybe a little too long.
This is the longest, I think, between seasons for Stranger
Yeah,
Things. It's 3 years, man. It's a long
yeah,
time.
yeah. And I've seen some stuff of just, I think maybe you posted this today too about how the Duffers are saying, all of the times you've seen lengths for the episodes are just wrong. He's
Yes.
like a couple of them are actually just like movie length. So they are telling their story the way they want to tell it to the end. And I like that. I like that a lot. Like I said, I wish it had come out sooner. Like I wish everything was closer together. Uh, but I fully respect the fact that it is getting the ending it deserves. So I'm excited about that. Does it start in October or does it start in November?
I want to say Thanksgiving time.
Yeah, I think so too.
Wow.
So I've
Yeah.
got a little time before I start a rewatch on that. But I'm going to try and rewatch the whole thing before the show kicks off, the final season. But yeah, that one will be interesting. But yeah, for Alien Earth, I really hope they figure it out quick because you want to lock that in, get back into the studio, and get filming again as quickly as you can. So we'll see what happens there. Speaking of series though that are coming to an end, Gen V is out now, and it's in its final season. The Boys' final season is coming soon. I know you watched the first episode of Gen V, right?
Watched the first episode. Yes, I did.
Because I've watched all of them and it's all a blur. Remind me how far you get in that first episode.
Yeah. I think you basically it ends with the blonde chick who was friends with kind of, unstable boy. She ends up getting, 86 by accident. And I think that's basically where it ends.
Yeah,
And I was a little surprised, but
that's
I
right
was like, oh
because
wow.
they Marie goes and tries to help her, but then she's like, "Well, I'm gonna have to touch her to do it." And they're like, "You can't touch her because you can't trust her. If you touch her, she'll be able to, take control of you and mess with you." So they kind of leave her there. Um, I don't know, because you're behind. How many spoilers do you want?
I'll be fine. I think I'll be fine. Yeah,
So,
it's all good.
well, one of the important ones is she's not dead,
Okay, cool.
which made sense to me, going through like she's sort of too big of a character to kill off yet. If they're going to
Yeah,
kill her off, like I feel like it should be later. But because of this head injury, her powers are broken, if not at least a little wonky.
yeah,
And so you've met Cypher though, right? You've met Dean Cypher, played
yes.
by the ever awesome what's his awesome name?
Midnight. Also, say a
Yeah,
midnight
Midnight
mass.
Mass. I usually know his name right off the top of my head, and I'm blanking on it probably because it's 1 in the morning. But yeah, he's awesome. He I will not give away his little secret that comes up in the fourth episode, but it is very very interesting. Through the rest of the episodes, everybody's kind of trying to band together. They're trying to figure out what's going on. There's a big secret about basically what was going on in what do they call it, the woods in season one, right? And then Marie goes on a hunt to figure out, you know, what they're doing. I think in episode two, we see the dad of the kid who passed away.
Hmm.
He breaks into an archive, or doesn't they go to an archive, him and Cricket go to an archive, and they find some paperwork that they ultimately find out that Marie's existence is not necessarily an accident. And not only was she created intentionally, but the person that created her intentionally is a big surprise. So like there's some really interesting stuff going on there, and we definitely see that she's more important than we thought she was. And
Wow.
so she's going to continue to get more important as it goes. Jordan, who is over here, the two characters, right, the male and female character,
Mm.
they are getting more and more interesting. We're definitely seeing them develop their powers a little more. And we obviously saw the female version of Jordan whoop the shit out of Kate, right? Like she almost died after that. And yeah, it's been really good so far. Like it really is. And I think if you look at the IMDb ratings, you can see the episodes kind of starting to notch up. Where
Nice.
episode four, I think all of the episodes before this are like a 7.1. So they're pretty decent, but not, necessarily amazing, even though I really like them. But this last one was really good. And there's definitely some crazy shit going on. And there definitely it has its like inappropriate like boys moments, you know where you're just like, they didn't really need to do that. They're just pushing the envelope. And so there's some of that stuff snuck in there, but the story is going in a really cool direction. Like I'm really, really stoked to see where it goes and where it's going to finish up. I don't, do you know offhand how many episodes there are? Is there eight?
I do not, but I
I
that would be a good
think
guess.
it's eight. I thought I had it up already. Yeah, eight. So
Wow.
we're halfway there. I wish they hadn't like as much as I really love it when you drop every episode at once so I can just watch it.
Mhm.
I wish they hadn't done three right out of the gate. I don't know what their thinking was. That's really weird, but it's going to be over too quick, I think. But it's been really good, so I'm really excited to see where it goes next.
Well, check this out. So I haven't read any of the spoilers, but as soon as you said she wasn't created by accident, I immediately was like, I bet you it's Stan Edgar. Don't answer. But the fact that I see Stan Edgar in the cast, I'm like, oh yeah, he totally created Marie. Like that's my guess, but we'll find out because it would make sense because um the one that I love so damn much, the head exploder, I forget her name right now, but like she also had a connection to Stan, so I
Hmm.
feel like I see Stan being behind like the whole thing, the puppet master, but we'll see. Yeah.
Yes, we will. Um, and there's a few other really kind of cool reveals that relate specifically, at least so far, to Gen V versus the boys,
Hmm.
that are kind of interesting too. So um, there's a secret hiding in it's not his office. I think it's Cypher's home. They break into there and they find something really interesting in there. So it has been really good. Like if you like the boys, if you like Gen V, this season is off to a really solid start. I mean, I say solid start. We're halfway through, right? The first half of this season now is
Yeah.
good. And episode four is the best of the episodes so far. Goes to some really interesting places, and we are starting to see Cypher is an interesting character because you can tell he's not the good guy, right?
Hmm.
But he is literally teaching these kids to expand their powers. Like he's spending time specifically with Marie to make her stronger. But he's also doing that with other students. So there's a whole like battle arena class that they have where they literally whoop the shit out of each other, or other people come in and whoop the shit out of them. And it's almost like Harry Potter, right? Like some dude gets
Yes.
his back broken, and they're like, "Yeah, well, we'll go fix him up in the infirmary." And it's just like, "Oh, okay, this place is fucking nuts." And so we'll see what his ultimate role is and everything. and why you know why they're amping up these. Now, if you watch it too, they talk about, and it may not be in the first episode. I'm trying to remember when he talks about it, but they discuss a few times, their superiority. They should be the ones in charge. They're the minority of people, but they are the powerfully speaking. They should be the respect. It is that X-Men
Yes.
conversation there, right? So a little stolen in that regard, but same idea, right? Like why should we be less than when we are obviously more than, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be really interesting to see where they go with it. It's been, like I said, it's been really good so far. So I'm excited. I don't know. I don't want to make any predictions yet. Maybe if you watch it, we talk about it next week. We can make a few predictions for the run there at the end. But I don't want to give away too much. But good stuff in episode 4, for sure.
Well, Hamish Linklater, I think is his
Yeah,
name.
Hamish Linklater. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hamish, okay.
yeah. I
And
love him.
yeah, no, that's if anyone's gonna be kind of like a leader in some way to like draw a movement. I mean, we saw what he's able to do in a church on a small island. So
Okay,
yeah.
so let me take that exact thing, take Hamish Linklater and Midnight Mass, and lead into my next thing because I think so. I started watching this show called Wayward on Netflix, and I think this show is the direct result of Netflix trying to cover their asses after letting Mike Flanagan walk. Because this feels like it's supposed to be a horror series. It stars Toni Collette, who
Nice.
I respect the shit out of. She's amazing. And it feels like almost like a teen horror show. And I don't think it's supposed to. It's barely a horror. It's more of a thriller. Like it's all of these things that I think they would have wanted to get um,
Mike.
from Mike Flanagan that they're not getting. And I feel like I don't know how they got Toni Collette to do this because she's the only name in it. Mae Martin is the writer and creator and one of the main actors, and she wrote the follow-up show with the girl from what was the show that we liked where she was all weird and they did all the hand gestures and shit and they were all the
Oh,
OA.
yeah, yeah, the OA, yeah.
Um, what was the show she wrote? I thought it was on here. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe she only acted in it. Um, Not Feel Good, not Outside. Am I crazy?
Hold on.
I must be.
Brett
I thought, sh
Merling, but
yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. I th would have sworn that she was. Well, she isn't a she, so she's a trans actor. So she's actually a they them, right? I've got to get that right. They them playing a post transition character in this show, which I'm just waiting for people to get furious about that for no good reason other than they wrote a character about a transitioning character with a wife who's having a baby, right? Let's find a reason to get mad for no fucking good reason. But anyways, um, they play a police officer who is at least referenced by most of the characters at this point in the show as male. But we're also acknowledging that it's post transition. They talk about how he's taking hormones at this point, how it comes up that the whole queer identity thing comes up and some other things come up. So it's definitely very acknowledged, right? Like we're not we didn't cast somebody that's transitioning as a male character or that has transitioned as a male character and just trying to gloss it over. It's part of the character, but I think that's because Mae Martin wrote it also and directed it, and that's so Mae Martin is a comedian in I think it's the UK or maybe Canada. I'm not sure, and their comedy is based on that about their experiences, and so it's what they know, and so they've written that into the show, and to be fair, like it's sort of like to me is like when you take a show like Schitt's Creek, where you just kind of normalize this thing that's there and just let it be. Like it's not like in your face. Like there's a moment when he's in bed with his wife and they're talking about how he doesn't have any stubble yet and maybe he should up his hormones or whatever. But it's like it's just this is their life and so they're living it and that's nobody is outwardly bashing it. Nobody's really like in your face acknowledging it, which is one of the things that I always thought made Schitt's Creek so fantastic, is that you had these characters in David Rose and Patrick, who was his partner later in the show. Um, David Rose is very gay. Like there's just no two ways about it. Or what does he describe himself? They're in a wine shop and he's like, anyways, basically he's like I'm kind of cool with whatever, depending on who you are. You know, it's not the label, it's the wine. And so but at the same time, like it was always just how he was, and everybody was just knew it, and it went on. So in Wayward, that's fine, but the gist of the story, and I feel like it wanted to be more than it is because the gist of the story is takes place in this town called Twin Pines, and there is an academy for teenagers, like just wayward teenagers in this town. Teenagers that have been shitty kids, have had a bunch of problems, whatever. And they get sent there, and the main therapist there, the lady running the place, is Toni Collette. The opening scene is a kid escaping from this place, and you see him like dive into a river to get away, and you hear Toni Collette talking in the background, and you can tell it's like almost this hypnotic like whatever she's saying. It's not a chant, but like I don't know the word I'm looking for. But anyway, she's speaking in the background, and I don't think he can actually hear it, but he's like remembering this, and it trips him out. But it definitely has a very hypnotic feel to it, like she is manipulating people in some way. And so the rest of the episodes so far, the whole thing is out. I'm only 4 episodes in. But our main character, Alex, who is played by Mae Martin, is a police officer that has just come to town with his wife, Laura, who is played by Sarah, I don't know, Gadon. Um, and she's very pretty. She's been in a few things here and there. Like I feel like her face is recognizable, but her name isn't, and I feel like she hasn't done enough. But she's a pretty girl. And she's not a bad actress, but I feel like maybe she's like Naomi Watts ultralight, like
Mhm.
but she's pregnant. She came back to this town that she grew up in. And as we come to start, as we find out over time over these first 4 episodes, there's definitely some weird shit going on in this town, and everybody in the town is kind of involved in it. And it's around this university, and it feels like the first episode almost makes it feel like it's supernatural. But then as the first 4 episodes go on, it's starting to feel like it's more psychological. And I don't know if they were trying to make it feel supernatural and then not. And I feel like the show doesn't quite have that identity down yet. We'll see where it ends. It may very well be supernatural. But at least at this point, it feels like it's more psychological after it started, um, potentially supernatural. But like I said, the after after Toni Collette, like none of the actors are names at all. It definitely focuses on a lot of the teen actors a lot more, which for the purpose of the story makes sense because it revolves around this, like I said, school for wayward teens. But because of that, and because it's not as scary as it could be, it feels very teenagey. It feels very like almost YA, and I don't think it's supposed to. Like, I think it's supposed to be unsettling and adult, and it's sort of not. And looking at IMDb, I've kind of seen the ratings on it drop a little bit as it goes. And right now it's sitting at a 5.9. And I think every episode is around a 7, which is interesting. That always trips me out. Like if you look at every episode and every episode sits at a 7, why is the overall rating of it a 5.9? Right? Like I can't really explain that one. Um, I thought I looked this up in Rotten Tomatoes, and I thought it did pretty well with the critics, um, but not so. God, not fucking Avatar: The Way of Water, dicks. Nobody
Mm,
cares about Avatar. Yeah, so 73% from the critics, but 53% from the audience. So like I think we've talked about it before, but I feel like critics are looking for that deeper story, and they're like, they're talking about this allegory to X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. But the general audience, the people that you're actually selling the product to, are like, yeah, it's just kind of not feeling it. And like I said, I'm gonna finish watching it because it's at least a little interesting, but it doesn't feel overwhelmingly compelling. Like I think I'm watching it more for Toni Collette than anything else to figure out like what her deal is, and I'm curious about what's going on, but I don't feel like I have to watch it. Like if I stopped watching it, I would be okay. Like I wouldn't feel like I've lost anything in my life. The main girl is played by Olivia Allen Lind, who I don't know that I've seen her in anything yet, but her sister is Natalie Allen Lind, who's been in a ton of stuff. There was a TV series on Fox that was sort of like a X-Men sequel
gifted.
show. Gifted, yeah, yeah. She was one of the main characters in Gifted. Um, Olivia Allen Lind, I haven't seen in anything yet. But yeah, that's she's the sister of Natalie Allen Lind, who's been around for a while, like a long
Yeah,
while.
it's like
Um,
2000
and what's that?
since like 2006 it says.
Yeah,
Natalie.
yeah. So, um, shit, Olivia Allen Lind wasn't even born until 2007. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's a weird show because I think there's some interesting stuff there. But like I said, I feel like this is a direct result of letting Mike Flanagan go. You have to fill that void, especially with this being, we're getting into the horror film season with Halloween right around the corner and all this, and you lost arguably the best creator of that genre for series, for serialized storytelling, and I feel like you can't make that up. I don't know what Amazon's doing because that's who he signed with.
Mhm.
I know he's making a movie though. There's a movie coming out this October that I hadn't even heard about. Um, Let me see if I can find it real quick. It is called. Oh no, maybe this was a lie. God damn it! This makes me so mad
Well, I'm
because
looking as well.
yeah, this might have been an AI
Well,
bit.
Clayface looks like that's coming out.
Clayface
Uh,
is coming out next year.
yeah.
He's redoing Carrie as a series. It looks like, which will be really interesting.
Mhm.
Because he he's like Mr. Stephen King at this point. Like,
Yeah.
he'll do anything by Stephen King, um, and rightfully so. Um, but and apparently he's doing something with The Exorcist too. So he's got a lot of stuff coming. If Carrie is a series, that's probably for Amazon would be my guess. Um, but I'm actually kind of glad that this movie that I saw out there that had his name on it isn't actually him. Um, he I feel like if he was making a movie that nobody was talking about until a month before it came out, that doesn't bode well. And I feel like his name being on a project is sort of a big deal. So um, he it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But he's a guy that has really kind of made his own way. He started with a couple of low budget, horror flicks that people didn't really or weren't made by a major studio. Hush was him and his wife in a house basically, and one other character where she plays a deaf character, so there's even less dialogue. Like it was this brilliantly made horror movie, and then kind of went from there.
So I'm smiling because I did click on the Carrie entry here on Wikipedia, sponsored by Wikipedia, and I'm seeing it is indeed Amazon MGM Studios. It'll be on Amazon Prime Video. But where I really smiled was three things. Samantha Sloyan is playing Carrie's mom. You know she's gonna
Yes, that's right. Okay,
kill.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's number one. Number two, not only is Katie Sackhoff listed as a recurring person, but also Tamo Hilo Pennicott. So
Hmm.
I think one of the things that makes Mike Flanagan awesome is the fact that he's very obviously particular about who he works with. Rahul Kohli's in
Yes,
here, Kate Siegel's in
yes.
here. Like, you just know the casting is going to be on point.
Yeah, he loves his people. So yeah, Rahul Kohli is in it, who was the sheriff in Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
Um,
And also the drug addict in Fall of the House of Usher. So you couldn't
yes.
like come up with two different characters. Like they were
Oh
so
yeah.
different, but they were both so well done.
Yeah, I love that guy too. Rahul Kohli. He was on a show called iZombie on the CW, which was a goofy, fun series. That's really kind of where I saw him start off. But I just watched an interview with him or watched a thing with him where he talked about how in elementary school people asked him what he wanted to do when he grew up, and he wanted to make video games. And so he has been like a side character in a handful of video games.
Nice.
But next year, he's got a game coming out that he is the main character, and he is so stoked about that. He's done all this other stuff. He's like an actor that is like kind of sought after now for the parts that he does, but he got to do this thing that was like up on his bucket list. And I think that's awesome. I'm a really huge, huge fan of his and have been since iZombie, actually. So I was really stoked to see his career take off. Um, I'm actually surprised, though, looking at Carrie, that there's not more carryover from other stuff. Like I'm actually a little surprised that the dad from um, Fall of House of Usher, no, not Usher, from what's the first one? Haunting of Hill House,
Mhm.
kid from E.T. Like
Right.
I'm surprised I don't see his name on here. Like there's a lot of people from those I would expect to see in here because he really does use the same people. I'm actually almost surprised too that Mark Hamill's name isn't in here somewhere because they have become fast friends.
Yeah.
But he'll be building up a new cast of people for sure. He is somebody that once people work with him, I think they all love him. They love kind of getting under his belt. And one of the people that is in this that'll be interesting to see. I think her career is just starting to take off. Is Amber Midthunder.
Okay.
She was the main. She was the girl in Predator
Oh
Prey.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's here.
Uh, yeah,
Nice.
she
Okay.
she's a teacher. She's a young teacher
Guys
in it.
here.
So,
Yeah.
um,
All right.
but her career is just starting to take off. I really like her. Matthew Lillard is going to be in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Getting
so
woozy.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm getting in. Yeah.
My mom and
Uh,
dad are gonna kill me. We're gonna be so mad. That's what he said. Mom and
yeah,
dad.
yeah.
Apparently, that was a ad lib. Like that wasn't even the script.
He's so, he's crazy talented. Not only is Tammo Pennican in it, but Michael Trucco is in it also.
Now, hold on a second. I saw that.
So Tammo
Dude, it's
Pen,
Anders.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, talk about bringing it around from something we weren't even going to actually leave in the
No,
show.
that's
Um,
cosmic, dude. We were talking about. So yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta be weird. No, we were talking about Battlestar Galactica people. That's why this is crazy. And now all
yeah,
three
yeah. Three
BSG people.
Battlestar. Yeah,
What are the chances? Anyways, that's the universe is a trip.
yeah. It really is. It really is. And of course, his wife is going to be in it, Katie Siegel. She's only listed as one episode. I don't know if that's true or not, but she's in everything he makes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's his way of bragging. She's way prettier than him.
She is a pretty woman.
Um, and I like her. She's always really good. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for that, and I think Prime is going to really benefit from this contract with Mike Flanagan. Um, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think as far as good horror stuff that's coming down the pipe for the rest of this year, I think Welcome to Derry comes out right before Halloween. That's the prequel to It.
Okay.
Um, and and I feel like there's something else coming out that I was really excited about that was a series, but I can't remember what it is.
Well, I
But
mean, I know we also still have to see the sequel to Black Phone. I mean, I'll see it. I'll report back on whether or not it's any good.
Yeah,
But
I've
yeah,
definitely seen some conflicting reviews. Like the one that
yeah.
I saw, the one that I pointed out to you was really interesting. I was like, that's a harsh take. Like, and it's coming from a horror website that regularly reviews this stuff. But then I saw another review that said it was pretty decent. So, yeah, I'm generally or genuinely curious about where that one's going to go. I'm sort of disappointed in Stranger Things that they didn't do a better job coming out around Halloween. Like I almost wish they had done a couple episodes of Halloween, a couple episodes of Thanksgiving, a couple episodes of Christmas and called it good. Because they should have had something to Halloween. That's what the show is, you know? But yeah, I I don't think I have anything else. I think I actually covered more than I expected to. And with us starting off with Battlestar Galactica and somehow finishing with Battlestar Galactica, which is incredible. I think we've got a pretty good chunk of stuff here. Do you have anything that you know of going into next week?
Going into next week, no. And then I do have a confession to make. I will actually not be back next week, but I was supposed to be out for 2 weeks in a row, but I'm actually not going to be out 2 weeks. I'll be back the week after. So that's good. And of course, I'm just looking at the time. This is a super tight episode, so
Yeah.
it might just be a little bit over an hour. So hopefully, oh, I almost forgot. Shout out to my boy. Mike Nilsson. Yes, I said your whole name. I didn't even say Mike. I said Mike Nilsson. What's up, Mike? So check this out. I'm not going to explain the particulars, but Mike has a connection to Bean, Michael Bean from the Terminator
Oh, nice.
and Aliens fame. And while it hasn't come to fruition, that connection that he has happens to be his kid, his son. And he's like, you guys have been talking about Michael Biehn, so I want him to come on your show. And I just think that's really cool that you thought of us and you wanted to have like a legit like star who we've talked about on this show. Apparently, him and James Cameron are actually good.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
apparently Michael Biehn has a podcast as well. And according to my boy, before Avatar Fire and Water comes out, Fire and Water, Fire and Ash, I think.
Fire and
Uh,
Ash, yeah.
Fire and Ash. Cameron's going to come on Michael Bean's show. So anyway,
No, that's awesome.
yeah, I've now taken some time out to say, yeah, Mike wanted. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for thinking of us, and thanks for listening to the show, making us a part of your routine. So
Yeah.
props to you, man.
Yeah, and that's awesome to know that these guys because there was at least a reported rift between the two at one point. So to see Cameron actually coming on his show and stuff, that's pretty awesome to be able to make that up and talk about stuff. Wasn't Michael, was he in something recently? Was that why we were talking about him?
I would have to Google. I don't even remember like how it came up. I think it might have been just like we might have been just talking about how political everything is and like how if you piss off the wrong director or someone like your career is done, that kind of thing. And I think that we were pontificating that maybe like I don't know because I mean I feel like I know it might have come up we were talking about Alien and Alien 3. Yeah, this is how it happened. I
Maybe.
think we like his character was killed off screen and we're like what the
Oh
hell?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was some bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did talk about that. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably how it came
Well,
up.
it turns out too, he was one of the voices in Predator Killer of Killers, the animated
Nice.
flick. So he's still working. He's got something
Yeah.
coming out that's in post production for sometime soon.
But he had an
Um,
accident apparently, a really bad accident. So I
oh,
think
okay.
that also probably kind of made him not be as on screen so much.
And he was in an episode of The Mandalorian also. So I mean, he's out there working for sure.
Good for him.
Um, video game voice work, some other stuff. Definitely some stuff that was a little questionable. There's some lower rated stuff on here, but an episode of The Walking Dead, episode of Law and Order. Obviously, Predator Killer of Killers was great. So out there working, and I think if he's doing okay, and if his podcast is popular enough, The picture of him that's on his IMDb page looks really recent, but I
Nice.
don't know what it would be from. Probably from Law and Order. But yeah, it's always good to see guys, kind of bounce back from, all the crap that can get in your way in the film industry. It's not it's,
Yeah.
it's not a forgiving industry for sure. I think he was in a tough place because if you're the star effectively of the movie, right? Like he was the main character in Terminator, and then he's a main character in Alien 3, and then like two. Is it two? It was two.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah, it's right. They killed him in the beginning of 3. They're just like, yeah, he died. They're like,
Yeah.
cool, man, thanks. It reminds me of the new Indiana Jones movie where they're like, Mutt? Yeah, he fucking died.
Yes.
We killed Mutt.
It's
Uh,
just so disrespectful. Like at least with the boys, or not the boys, Gen V, like the way they handled the real life death of that guy, you felt it. And I felt like they didn't recast him. It was so respectful.
and they bring it up more, and they definitely found a way to write him as a hero. Like he went out as a good guy. And that's a big deal because it's a show of characters that are so gray,
Yeah.
right? And so for him to go out as for the character to go out respecting the actor,
Yeah.
I think is a big deal. So, but cool. Yeah, I obviously don't have anything else. And there were a couple things I was going to try and watch. We'll see what happens. I think Lauren's out next week. So I
Oh,
may do a solo episode.
hello.
I may take a week off. I don't know yet. If you don't see an episode a week after you listen to this one, then I was just sleepy and mind your damn business. I'll be back. Um, or if I watch something that I think is really good, there's a few things coming out that I thought were like the 30th. Um,
Well, while you're thinking about that, I'll also mention something else. This is totally random. This is the show of randomness. So there is a movie, a terrible movie. I'm so sorry to even say it, but okay, there's a
you have
guy
my
when
attention.
okay, there, bro, it's so bad. I actually I would consider it like a this is a bad thing to say, but I would call it like a KKK recruitment video, and that's very strong words, but it's just like it's so racist. All right, it's so stereotypical. It's called Soul Plane. Oh my God.
Oh, I've heard of Soul Plane. Yeah.
It is bad. I'm only like 20 minutes in, and I swear to God, if I didn't have a reason to watch it, there's no way I'd subject myself to this anymore. It's probably Kevin Hart's first film. It does say introducing Monique. But the reason why I'm
Oh
watching
shit.
it is because my the organization, the Greek letter organization that I joined called Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the first African American or Black fraternity, Black Greek fraternity, 1906. Anyway, the dean of pledges, his name is John Mitchell. Shout out to John. I'm doing all the shout outs today. Anyway, he is a master baton twirler, actually. Penn State, national trains, everything. Anyway, he was making his pitch for Hollywood in the early 2000s. And apparently, in the movie Soul Plane, um, he's one of those people at the airport with like those like lights that they kind of use to like guide or like the airplane, like boom boom boom. And apparently he does that and starts twirling it in the movie. So I'm like, you know what? I've known you clearly since 1995. It's now 2025, so I've known you for 30 years, and I have not supported you and watched this damn movie. So I'm gonna watch the damn movie. But damn, like, dude, now I know why you never pushed me to watch it because it's cool that you're in a movie, but dude, I it is like it's a minstrel show. It is the buffoonery, the stereotypes. It literally sets Black America back decades, if not like 100 years. It's bad. Anyway, so I will finish it, but I honestly, it's like Norbit is bad. It's like a Norbit. It's just like really stupid buffoonery.
Hmm.
It's so you get the point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but if you want to watch it anyway, good. But like not good. But like you need a bad movie to watch, but it might like impressionate like your kids, and you'll be like, damn, dude, those people. Anyways, I'll be stopping. It's
What do you
it's
mean, you
terrible.
people?
Yeah, it's not good. All right, you got a good point.
Yeah, I can't find what I was looking for. But I did notice for anybody that cares on Prime Video on September 26th, which has already passed for us, The Good Place is going to be streaming on Amazon Prime. That's where it's moving to. So if you've never watched The Good Place for some stupid reason, go watch that show. It's amazing. Um, but yeah, I don't have anything else. So with that, for now, I will say thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a great week, maybe 2 weeks, and I'll see you next time.
Deuces.